So Britney Spears' father is fighting the effort to replace him as her guardian. But his filing shows just why the court should remove him from that position. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. If you share my concerns, maybe you could like this video and subscribe to this channel, maybe even click that little bell that will notify you when I post something new. So this is my second video about the fight over Britney Spears' guardianship and conservatorship. And some might find that odd given the fact that my channel is all about being a Democratic activist. But as a Democratic activist, a progressive who's concerned about human rights, a feminist, and an attorney, I just cannot sit by with the outrage of what's going on in California. I have actually been involved in guardianship cases, and I can tell you that this is not normal. Typically, guardianship cases involve people who are unable to care for themselves, people dealing with severe illnesses or mental or emotional disabilities. I can tell you that all the guardianships I've been involved with, the person who was going to be the protected individual was always in favor of the guardianship. And they were happy to have this person, typically a loved one, watching over them and helping them with their issues. That, of course, is not the case with the Britney Spears conservatorship. As we saw in the last video that I posted about this, Britney Spears has dealt with abuse and neglect and really being treated as nothing more than a slave. She's even been forced to have an IUD to stop her from getting pregnant because, of course, that would get in the way of her generating more money for the conservators. Well, recently, although the court didn't free Britney Spears from her conservatorship after she made the presentation to the court, it did allow her to hire her own attorney, which is actually a big deal. Because before that hearing, the only legal representation Britney Spears was allowed to have for her own rights was somebody who was hired by the conservators. And they sure weren't going to hire somebody who was going to work to get rid of them. Well, almost as soon as Britney Spears hired this new attorney, the attorney filed a motion with the court to replace her father, Jamie Spears, as her guardian. And just the other day, then, this attorney filed another motion asking the court to speed up the process because Britney Spears has been suffering under this arrangement that has been going on now for 13 years. Well, in a response to this motion, filed by Jamie Spears' attorney, Vivian Lee Thoreen, even though this response seems to argue that he should remain in charge of the conservatorship, a lot of the indications are to me that the court really needs to get rid of him just based upon his filing. Let me give you a couple of examples. For example, in the earlier hearing, we heard about how Britney Spears views her situation as abusive. Now, in her father's filing, he doesn't dispute the fact that she's had to endure abuse and hospitalization in a mental ward against her wishes. But he blames other people involved in the guardianship for this. Now, it turns out that those other people are disputing the father's account of what happened, but that doesn't matter because of the fact that if he's the guardian and she's being abused, he's not doing his job as the guardian, and he should be replaced as the guardian. Let me give you another example. Part of the arguments that the father has as to why he should remain in control of her conservatorship is that he supposedly has helped grow and maintain the singer's $60 million fortune. Well, that's not a basis to be kept in control of the guardianship and conservatorship. People are not solely there to generate money for other people. That, my friends, is what we call slavery. He continues to defend himself by saying that the sole motivation has been his unconditional love for his daughter. That doesn't matter because of the fact that in a guardianship and conservatorship, the number one priority has to be making sure that the protected person is taken care of. If the protected person, let's just assume that this guardianship and conservatorship is appropriate for a minute. If that's the case, then the protected person's interests need to come first. If she isn't comfortable with her father being the guardian, he just needs to be replaced. It doesn't matter how much he loves her. It doesn't matter how much he claims he served her well. If she's not comfortable, that's a basis to replace him in and of itself. And finally, just the fact that he's fighting so hard to keep this position really shows the fact that he needs to be replaced. Being a guardian or conservator is a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. Most people who take this position take it on as out of a sense of responsibility to their loved one. Most of them, similarly, would gladly let someone else take it over if given the opportunity. But in Mr. Spears' case, he wants to stay involved. Reason why? He's making a lot of money off of it. Being a guardian or conservator should not be something that becomes someone's full-time job that they're able to live a comfortable life on. Especially, as Britney Spears asserts in her filings, when he's not letting her spend her own money on things like a vacation. In other words, he's living high off the hog off her earnings, off her essentially slavery, while she can't enjoy any of the benefits of it. And if she doesn't do what she's told, she gets thrown into a mental institution. That's not right. That's not American. And for that matter, a surprising number of people from a surprising number of corners are also supporting an end to her guardianship and conservatorship. Well, if you agree with me or disagree with me, I'd love to hear your comments down below. Or for that matter, if you have any questions about guardianships or conservatorships, feel free to leave comments down below. If you could give me a like and subscribe to this channel, I'd sure appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. And in the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.